If you're a active duty service member or a veteran with student loans or thinking about getting student loans, this video is for you. A lot of veterans disqualified themselves from using the amazing VA home loan due to student loan debt. In this video, I'll show you how your student loans really impact your ability to get a mortgage and what you can do to turn the tables into your favor. Now, let's talk about what lenders look for and see in student loans. So, number one, it definitely affects your ability to purchase a home, and understanding how you can restructure that debt to make it more favorable for you is something that you really need to understand. And both, it's a timing perspective from the sense that not all things that let's say you want to do a consolidation on a student loan, is going to be immediately effective, right? Sometimes it could take a month or two to do that. So this is why always looking out at your financial picture at least 6 months to a year in advance is a pretty good idea. Now, if you guys would like, I can help you with that. And there's a link down below to schedule a call with me. And then we can actually review your entire financial picture and then set you up for the next step. And then along with those student loan payments, right, they're going to affect both your debt to income ratio and what's called residual income. Now, residual income is VA specific, and depending on where you live in the country and the size of your household, that's going to affect how much you can actually qualify for. And I did do a whole video on understanding residual income. So you guys can check out the channel and see and learn about that. Now, student loan payments and how they're considered, it's going to depend on how it's reported on your credit report. Now, normally, like when we look at a credit report, either we're going to see some type of standard payment that's listed. That means that you are in a repayment program. And then sometimes we'll take a look at the payment and compared to the balance, and it might be really low payment. And that's often due to it being in some type of income-driven repayment plan where you submit your income annually, they review it, and then they'll say, hey, this is what your payment is going to be. Now, on the other type is that when you are currently attending school or you've decided that, hey, I can't make payments right now, you can put your loans in a deferment status. Now, the deferment status is going to affect your ability to be able to get a mortgage, because what a lender is going to do is they're going to take, for example, with a VA home loan, they're going to take 5% of the balance and divide it by 12. Now, if you take a look at that, so let me just pull out my nifty calculator and take 100,000 times 5%. So that's 5,000 a year divided by 12. That's $416.67. So that's what they would use in order to qualify you. Now look at it if this was a conventional loan that had a deferment loan, deferred payments, then they use 1% of the balance. So now that'd be $1,000 a month counting against you for qualification purposes, which is a pretty significant number. And that also edges you towards having some kind of DTI or residual income issue that you really want to be able to avoid to do that. Now, let's talk about some strategies that you can implement to be able to go not around it, but like understand how the VA looks at it and what you can do to consolidate your debt. And that's really going to be driven by each individual's financial picture. I can't stress that enough. That's why we're going through a couple different options, and I'm sure there's more that exist. If you guys know of some additional strategies, please drop them down in the comment section. And if you want to have videos more around like the qualification pieces to qualifying for a home loan, please drop a comment below with what you're looking for. Always happy to do videos. And that's how we come up with these videos, is from viewers like yourself. So one thing that you can look into is consolidating your student loans into one payment. There's plenty of student loan debt consolidation programs that are out there. What I encourage you to do is read the fine print, because you can't always, should I take that back? You have a lot more flexibility when they're federal debt. Plus, when it's federal debt as well, and let's say you go through the VA disability process and they're going to be paying off your student loans, they're going to be federal student loans they're paying off. So keep that in mind. And just a side note with that disability piece, sometimes people will hold off on getting their VA disability because they are currently in school and they want to be able to have the student loans paid off. So that is a strategy that people use. I've talked to a lot of people recently that have been doing that. But if you also have student loan debt, going through the VA disability process does take some time. And once you've been awarded the 100% permanent in total, you get your, I believe it's Chapter 35 benefits, then they'll pay off the student loans. That does take a couple months to go into effect, but I'll give you this other strategy that actually lets you qualify for the VA home loan without a payment. And that is when you defer a student loan payment more than 12 months out from your closing, it doesn't have to count against you for the purposes of qualifying for a VA home loan. Now, that is a phenomenal part of the program, but I think where the challenge comes in is that what happens if you do a deferment just to qualify for the program, because you can do that, and those payments then kick in and they're another $1,000 a month and you're already stretched out on your budget. So you really need to understand the consequences, you can say, of doing this, right? If you're getting the student loan to be paid off because you hit the 100% PNT and you're waiting for it to kick in, okay, then it makes sense. Defer them out past the closing. That way they don't have to count and they'll be wiped out. But you also need to be constantly checking your student loan payments on your portal, not on your credit report, because the credit report, from what I've noticed, takes a lot longer to update with the student loans being paid off versus you going in and manually pulling it. And then what you do basically is take that, submit it to your lender, and then your lender will then update it on your credit report. So it's just another great option to do that. And then also, I've seen a lot of people utilize the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. So if you're a government employee, I believe, don't quote me on this, but it's like you've been there for 10 years, then you would be able to have your student loans forgiven. Just another option that exists that's out there. Now, with that, that's how the VA helps the veteran community with student loans be able to go through that process. I think definitely there's more options that exist within that. And the key is really to focus in on your financial picture, understanding what your budget is, focus in on having good credit, because with good credit, you get the best financing terms. And like I always say, when you don't need money, people want to give it to you. And when you need money, nobody wants to give it to you. So being prepared and having good credit allows you to gain access to capital when you need it the most, but always prepare ahead of time. And then we're going to be doing a lot more videos this year around credit and budgeting. And also we're going to be focusing on investment strategies. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button and share it with the veteran community. And if you guys would like a one-on-one consultation, please schedule down in the description below. There's a link to schedule a call with me. I'll catch you guys soon.